It's me, Dudieboy! In this episode of Dudieboy Plays Minecraft, I'm going to spend 100 days adding an entire farming area to my base, and to do that, I need to acquire the new type of wood in Minecraft 1.19, Mangrove Logs. First up, let me say thank you so much for 1,000 subs on my YouTube channel. I love playing Minecraft and making my silly videos about it, and your support means the world to me. Second up, thank you so much for your support on this new Let's Play series. The last episode had the strongest viewership of any start of any of my Let's Play series on this channel so far, so I will definitely continue this series and continue my new approach, building full areas at a time. It's day 140, and since the last episode, I've done lots more grinding and a little exploring. I've been breeding these chickens and sheep and cows, and just lately, pigs too. So on today's episode, we're gonna build suitable animal pens for these little guys. I also killed a zombie who dropped a carrot, just a single carrot. And so I planted a new farm with them and I've been harvesting them. However, these fields are small and a little basic, so today I'll be expanding them into nice, aesthetic crop fields surrounding the entire farming area. There seems to be kind of a glitch with bees in Minecraft, but for some reason, bees that come out of the nest don't fly around. They just seem to get stuck right here, and I have to jump up and push them off. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully they get that bug sorted out. Look, he's still not moving. There he goes. And I plan to build a barn and a stable and a windmill and a bee farm all in this same area. So if you enjoy this episode today, I'd appreciate it if you'd click the like button and help me show this video to more people on YouTube. So one of the amazing things that happened while I was filming the last episode was that a wandering trader came by offering to sell mangrove propagules for 5 emeralds apiece. This happened while I was recording a long trip into those mountains to the north to collect iron, but I also found several emerald ores. Afterwards, I was unloading stuff, and it just so happened I had exactly 5 emeralds when the trader came, but I wasn't able to include that segment in the last video because the video file was corrupt and unusable. So that was a bummer, and it sometimes happens when I use OBS, and the longer I record, the more likely corruption is to occur. But nevertheless, we have this one mangrove propagule, and we're going to plant it now, bone meal it, and see what happens. I've seen these mangrove trees in videos, and I've seen that they can be quite wide, so I'm going to try, I think, yeah, maybe over here. We're just going to put it in the ground right here, and then I'm going to hit it with some bone meal. Come on now, there, whoa! Oh wow, so I mean, this is a lot of resources. Oh, there's more propagules up there, so those will let me make more trees, and there's vines hanging from it. So I'm gonna pop some of these vines off here, because these vines would be great for making mossy blocks. Alright, so there's the actual wood, and yes, I actually want to get some of these roots, because the roots themselves could also be very useful. We're also getting moss carpets from these, and I love using those to light up the area and hide torches under. So these trees can actually be a little tricky to cut down, and there's so many resources that if you're trying to get all of them, you can really be harvesting a single tree for quite a while. Alright, I think, whoops, at this point I got all the actual wood, so all of the rest of the leaves are despawning on their own. So now I've got 5 more propagules that I can use to plant in this area and get more of this amazing mangrove log. I definitely want to incorporate more 1.19 blocks into the mega base / kingdom we're building here, so I'm going to farm this new wood and use it today, especially in the barn. While I'm farming mangrove blocks, we also need to terraform this area. It has a lot of issues, such as this weird ridge that kind of looks like a chunk building error. This green patch is also not a very big area, relatively speaking. If we try to build the entire farmlands here, it would look pretty squished together. But then we also have this large, useless, stony shore area. I have a lot of dirt now, and I can easily get more, so if we cover this area with dirt and grass blocks, this would make a great location for our crop fields. Then we could build our structures on these rises, and they would look really nice. But I still haven't straightened out the issues with signing into my second camera account, and the replay mod isn't updated yet. So I'm going to do all this in the form of a montage. check it out. So yes, now that we filled in this whole Stony Shore area with grass, we do have quite a bit more room to build up our farming area. And don't worry, we'll move the animals out of there. We'll move them into a nice barn. Yeah, so there's a big difference in the grass. The biome blending is doing really well in this area, but you can clearly see a big difference between this color of grass and that greener color of grass over there. So this will definitely be a good place to build up all of my crop fields. Quick update, it's been about 5 days since my last recording because I got to feeling a little sick, and I don't know, I'm feeling on the mend. You may still hear it in my voice a little bit, but I am back now and I have got this entire area plotted out with what I want to build here, and I just want to go over it with you. So as you can see, I got everything sort of plotted out using cobblestone. I've got plenty of cobblestone now from terraforming this area. I tore down that whole cliff over here, I mentioned it earlier, and then up here is where we're going to have our barn. It's actually going to be a very wide barn, not very deep, and I know I said I promised I was going to build a stable, but you know what? I'm just going to build a stable in the last 4 or 5 blocks of this area over here. So the main barn entrance will probably be around somewhere here, and then we'll have a path so that you can walk down here to the crop fields. Right now my animal pens are in the way, so we got to move all these animals out of here, move them up into the barn, and we got to fill all this in with grass. And then this area here is going to be one of my crop fields, but then here is another crop field probably for potatoes, and here's a crop field for carrots maybe, and then here is another wheat crop field. This little, I don't know, cross in the middle here represents the area in which I'm going to build a windmill. And then over here where I've currently got my my 2 kind of square looking little farms, I've got another sort of cross shape here to represent the area in which I'm going to build a greenhouse where I will house all of my bees. Okay, we're off to a good start on the barn with a pretty basic shape laid out on the ground. 4 animal pens, and now we're going to raise up all of these columns. And so now we're going to fill this in with the new mangrove wood type. Okay, we really only need like a small little window. It's not like the animals need to be able to see out of the barn. And then we can strip these logs. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, and of course then I'm going to chop some of these up and convert them into planks. All right, that is looking really good. I like it. Very barnish. I had a bit of an epiphany on the bottoms of the posts though, and I replaced them with barrels. And now that we got all the walls in, I want to go ahead and put little mangrove fences in each of the windows so that lots of fresh air can get into the barn. That's pretty nice. We're going to want a barn door, of course, and we'll probably need to lower the doorway a little bit and have some more mangrove wood going up into the roof, but I think I need to start framing the roof in order to understand how high that needs to go. And I'm actually going to do it in slabs, deep slate slabs, because I don't want it to be a very steep roof. So I'm not actually sure that I want a full block in there. I think it might actually be cooler if we have the mud blocks just kind of going along here for a nice dark texture underneath the roof. So let me show you a little trick I learned. So this is one of the mangrove roots. They grow at the bottom of the mangrove trees, and you can actually waterlog them, fill them up with water just like that. Now I've got 14 glass bottles in my hand. Normally from a cauldron you can fill up 3 glass bottles, but watch this. That's right, I just filled up 9 glass bottles and it didn't go down any. It literally becomes a single block infinite water source. This is one of the biggest, greatest additions to Minecraft in 1.19. Okay, let's try mud blocks in this little space here. Oh yeah, oh yes, I like that quite a bit. That is nice. Okay, I was getting a little too tied up in the details. So I went ahead and I finished up the exterior. I want to kind of get behind it in order to show you what I did with the roof, because that'll be the most revealing angle. Yeah, so if you get up at the top of this hill here, you can see that it has just a little bit of a lift, and I like it. I like the way it turned out. And then there's the little fences in there just to provide little vent holes, because as all those smells come up through the barn, you're going to need to vent them out somewhere. And then on the interior here, I really like the inside. I mean, look at what I did over there. So those are stairs and then slabs and then stairs and then slabs, and it has this kind of neat look if you just kind of look at it from the right angles. I really like the way that came out. I don't know why. And then of course I did the same thing up there with stairs and slabs and stairs and slabs. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. So, okay, so I think the next step is to do the interior here. Okay, so yeah, the ground here is definitely looking much improved, much more realistic. So I left a lot of grass in this one because this is where the sheep need to go. And each time you shear them, they will need grass blocks to eat. All right, so I think we're finally ready. Oh, I think I'm going to be sleeping soon, but then I think we're finally ready to get all of that livestock up here in this barn. As for this thing, let me show you this. So yes, I've been filling numerous water bottles from this entire time, and now if I right click on it with my bucket, I get a full bucket of water back, and I can pick that up too. Isn't that crazy? Okay, sorry, you're out. You guys are in. Follow me. Okay, follow me. And then the final step, of course, is to add our stables out here. I want 2 stable stalls for 2 different horses, and I'm gonna need a lot more fence posts, fence gates to go in between all these. But first, we can start off by putting spruce logs going up and a little awning coming out from the side of the building over to the top of them. So I think we'll go up 1, 2, 3 at least, and then we can start an awning directly underneath me. And voila! I even kind of like how it looks out here in the dark, so I wanted to go ahead and show you. And yeah, all you need is like 1 lantern to light up the entire inside, and it makes it completely spawn-proof. Oh yeah, we still have to get my piggies in here. One of these days I'll find a saddle, and then I'll be good and ready to get myself a horse, and he'll be ready to live here. And then I'll find my horse a friend, and they'll be ready to live here too. Okay, so the barn is done. It's day 182 in my world, and I'm through messing around. So I filled in this area with dirt, took down all the animal pens, and now I'm ready to finish up these farmlands. And we're gonna get to work on the wall here. So what I want to do is I want to have like a cute little gate going into each of these farmlands, and then I'm going to raise up, I'm going to raise up certain pieces, and I'm going to lower others. And then actually we want to replace some of these with mossy cobblestone instead, just to give it an additional texture, just like that. So now I'm going to go all the way around all of these farmlands, all these cobblestone walls that I've built. I'm going to put some occasional lanterns in different places, and I'm going to texture them all the same way. Okay, and then even more occasionally, I'm going to go around and I'm going to take out occasional blocks and replace them with full regular stone blocks. Just to add even more variety to these cobble wall sections. All right, now it's looking really good. So now my crop fields are all done. But I just realized that there's no door on my barn. And now I have a big barn door. And now my crop fields are planted, except for this one, potatoes. You see, I basically have only 1 potato because I encountered a zombie and killed him. Wait, I hear a zombie. He must be underground somewhere. Anyway, I encountered a zombie and killed him, and he planted this 1 potato. All right, so we're gonna bone meal this potato until it grows up, harvest it, and then we're gonna plant these 3, and I'm gonna bone meal these until they grow up. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I basically have enough crops to plant this entire field. So I've planted it using alternating rows, and yeah, that'll look pretty good. Almost got it full, few empty spaces back there, but we're all planted up, and wow, almost ready to harvest some wheat by the looks of it. Now I'm going to turn my attention to this windmill. It's going to have a 9x9 circular base, and I'm going to raise this up about 6 high, and then it'll form a little tower that'll go up to kind of a house on the top that I'm going to build out of more mangrove wood. So, pretty quick update. Got the first little portion of the bottom of it built, and started working on the curve up at the top. It's a little difficult to see because it's all in cobblestone. So it's very important that we take some of this out of here and that we begin to replace some of it with mossy cobblestone and tuff and regular stone. So like for example, down here, we'll put a couple of mossy cobblestone in here. And then above this one, we'll put a regular stone. And then say right in here, we want to put a streak of tuff because I think tuff will definitely stand out while also blending quite well. I think also what I may need is andesite. So let me go see how much andesite I have. Ooh, that's it. 9 andesite. I think I'm going to drop some of this off here. And I'm going to go mining for some andesite. So my actual mine, the drop shaft here, actually goes down to Y-54, and I don't remember there being a whole lot of andesite down there, so I'm actually going to head this way over into these caves and see if I can find some andesite over here. So, okay, so this is the area I'm talking about. There's andesite right back in there, and I've got it well lit enough that I should be able to get most of it out of there pretty safely. Sorry, little zombies, you're not going to get me today. Yeah, this looks like a good amount of andesite, and this should be enough just to blend into the pattern of my windmill. Okay, so we have taken all of the andesite out of this cave. Oh, actually didn't take out this andesite. So just kind of took out all the andesite in this general area, and frankly, it's plenty. So I think we're good, and I think we better head back to base or we're going to be dealing with some monsters. Whoa, here's an invisible spider. All right, let's see if we can get out of here. All right, he sort of abandoned us, and I'm going to go sleep over here and hope for a safer morning. Ah, that's just creepy. So as you can see, it worked pretty well using the tuff, and especially the andesite that I went and dug up, so that was totally worthwhile. And inside here, looking pretty good. So in the middle of the floor here, I'm going to put a sand block down in the middle, and then I'm going to surround it with a variety of stone stairs that are upside down facing outward, because I want this to be like a table where the hay is being ground into flour. That's what a windmill typically does, like back in the old medieval days, actually. So then I want to surround this room with some hay bales. And in order to get to the upper levels, I'm going to use an old trick, and I hope it still works. So if we put some trapdoors, some spruce trapdoors up against the wall here, facing outward, we should be able to open them all, and then we should be able to shift-click and put ladders going up the trapdoors and then all the way up the wall to the upper level, and it should look pretty cool. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good, and even just like one lantern at the back of the room is lighting up this entire area well enough to avoid spawns. Got all the hay bales in, and got some extra storage over here just in case we need it. So now we can start working on the top level and also the grinding mechanism that'll extend down from above. So I want to fill in these windows with mangrove fence posts just to kind of maintain, kind of make the area a little bit consistent with how we're doing windows between here and the barn. I have a mangrove door for the doorway there, and then I think I'm just going to do a little awning with a series of stairs, the two on the outside turn to the side, and yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think I need some walls to either side here, so I'll cut those and get those in. It's day 206 in my world, if some of you are trying to keep up with that, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on adding the top here. I'm going to start off by adding mangrove stairs to the outside of the wall, planks to either side, and then another stair beside that. And we're going to fill in these little corners here with planks. And I'm going to try to get a slab underneath those just so that there's sort of a natural lift there. And yeah, let me do that on all the sides, and then we'll try to figure out how we're going to fill in the middle. Okay, yeah, I've given myself a nice wide platform here. I think basically just the way to kind of fill in these is I'm probably just going to do stairs on both sides toward the front and stairs on both sides toward the back. Yes, yeah, that's suitable. I think that meets standards. There's kind of a natural sort of rise from the corners outward. So I've made up a whole bunch of barrels because I'm trying to figure out like this. There's going to be a floor level in here, and I'm trying to figure out how the floor meets the exterior wall. And I think I've decided that I would like to have the outer side texture of barrels be the area around the floor. All right, so I think I've got the floor pretty well figured out. It'll look a little better if these are stripped, of course, inside here. Yeah, liking it. Okay, so then I think we need some oak trapdoors around this area, and then we can have the grinding arm going straight down to the sand block, or the what I'm calling the flower down there. Oh yeah, that's actually gonna look really good. All right, that looks really cool. And then I think maybe we need to stone cut some andesite walls actually, and we'll have a bunch of andesite walls going straight down the middle. So as you can see, I placed it there and it doesn't connect to any of those, so we can have this arm coming straight up the middle of the area. The question is, yeah, actually I can put this arm in here going all the way down. Maybe I put it from this side. There we go. Now it looks like both of them are going to rotate the same direction, and this is going to go up and down and grind this flower. That looks great. All right, this is looking amazing, and now we just got to get the roof on. First up, I'm going to go all the way around the outside with stairs. So then I'm just going to cover the tops of all these spruce logs with slabs. And then just to kind of have the roof sort of slope upward, I think we're going to have a stair in the middle and 2 slabs on all 4 sides. All right, so now that we've got the next rise up there, we can put slabs in between all these little junctions. Probably best is to do these top 2 pieces from up here and then try to get underneath somehow and put the other pieces from below. So I'm going to just try putting this one here, that one there, and strip it. We need another fence gate. All right, so a fence gate on top of there gives it a nice little point. Climb up on top of here, and then, yeah, we'll just take that one out of there, and then we'll put 2 more back up in there and strip that one too. All right, so that would probably be the perfect place to hang a chain and a light from. And perfect, that should be enough to light up the entire room. And I'm just gonna go around and check those values real quick. So it's looking pretty good from the outside here. Obviously, we just have to put the blades on the front of it. All right, guys, and there we go. I've got an arm extending out from the windmill. I think it's an appropriate length. And then we've got a windmill here that's made of little grindstones all surrounding a barrel that is turned outward. So we see this cool little rounded shape. And then we've got wool going out in all directions to act as the sails for the windmill. I'm actually gonna jump back here if I can. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. I bet it would look even better in a boat from out at sea. Oh yeah, with the windmill and the barn in the background, that is looking fantastic. All right, and so the last thing we want to build in this area is a greenhouse right here. And this is where we're going to house all of our pesky bees, and we're going to put a bunch of flowers in there, and also sugar cane. That's where we're going to grow sugar cane and pumpkins and melons eventually. So this episode is running kind of long, so frankly, I'm just going to build this and come back and show it to you. Day 216 now, and I'm about halfway through this build. So I've got 3 beehives here that I'm going to go ahead and put in my greenhouse. I've got bunch of grass dirt in here. I'm going to replace quite a bit of this with coarse dirt and with packed mud, but I wanted to go ahead and put these beehives in here. They're each going to be up against the windows, and then I'm going to surround the bottom of these with spruce trapdoors in order to hide them. I'm just kind of hoping that this bee over here will gravitate onto one of these beehives pretty soon so that I can take down that one and clear it out of the way. So I'm building a dome out of white glass on top of here. I went and got this white glass from way out there in those sandy areas, and I'm now placing them in what I hope will look like a dome pattern on top of here, because I want a little dome for my bees to fly around in, and I also want to hang some plants from up here. I think that'll look nice. But I don't have silk touch yet, so it's very important that every block that I place is placed correctly. See, like that. You mess up like that and you've lost a piece of glass. Darn it. All right, so now the dome is in, I think, and it's looking pretty good. I'm going to jump up on here to this hill, which is probably scheduled for demolition, and just going to check it out here. So yeah, it's a nice shape. So in order to keep the bee from flying out of here, now that we got it fully enclosed, I want to try to put a door here, and then I want to put another door right here. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I should try to have them both open the same way. All right, so there we go. Now we have kind of like a vault door so that we can come in and close one door so that the bees don't get out, and then we can open to the outside. And we'll see how it works. Okay, and check it out, guys. It's actually day 227 in my world, so we didn't quite make it to day 240. It's not quite 100 days, sorry about that. But you know, it's not really a 100-day series, so yeah, I added some oak leaves to the outside of it. I mean, I also added some bricks out here, some extra bricks along the side just to make it look better. Planted some oak trees in the area and used some bone meal to grow them up, and also grow the grass in the area, make it look a little bit more lush. And let's head inside. So yeah, look at this, plenty of sugar cane to get. Come in here and just get as much as you want. Also the pumpkins, so easy place to come and farm, very safe. Also I can breed the bees, and they are coming up with all the honeycomb I need, and they don't mind if I take whatever I want. I like it. This area is looking fantastic. I just love how lush and green it is. I love the barn. I love the greenhouse. I love the windmill. I love everything I built here, and I hope you guys do too. And hey, look at my number of deaths. It's still at 0. I mean, it's almost like a hardcore series or something. If you enjoyed this episode, please do click the like button and help me share this with more people on YouTube, and I will see you in the next episode.